Imagine a glacier, a colossal river of ice that has stood for millennia, a silent sentinel of the ages. Now, witness it shrinking year by year, a stark visual representation of our changing climate. The ice, once seemingly immutable, is now surrendering to the warmth. Its retreat is subtle, just inches or feet each season, a creeping transformation that can be easily overlooked if you're not paying close attention. It's almost invisible in our daily lives, as we rush through our routines, often oblivious to the grand, slow-motion drama unfolding around us. This is the quiet language of a warming planet, a language spoken not in shouts, but in whispers of melting ice and shifting seasons. It's not a sudden collapse, but a slow, relentless withdrawal, a gradual erosion of the world as we know it. Seasons shift, the familiar rhythms of nature are becoming increasingly unpredictable. First frosts come later in the year, and the last ones leave earlier in the spring, disrupting delicate ecosystems. These changes aren't dramatic headlines, they don't grab our attention in the same way a major disaster does, but they accumulate, slowly but surely rewriting the fundamental rules of life on Earth, altering habitats and challenging species. Climate change is deceptive, a master of disguise. Because it unfolds so slowly, over decades and generations, it's easy to become desensitized to its effects. Blending into the background of our busy lives, it becomes just another part of the scenery. We adapt, often without realizing what's been lost, accepting a diminished world as the new normal. Yet the evidence is everywhere if we only take the time to look. Bleached coral reefs, once vibrant ecosystems, now ghostly skeletons. Parched farmlands, cracked and barren where crops once flourished. And more powerful storms, fueled by warmer waters, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. Each is a single instrument in a global orchestra of change, a note in a symphony of disruption. Together they play a lament for a world slipping away, a mournful melody for what we are losing. The challenge is to finally listen to this silent symphony, to truly hear the message it conveys. Only by noticing these subtle shifts, by paying attention to the quiet signals of change, can we understand the urgent message our planet is sending, a plea for action before it's too late. Will we hear it in time? Will we heed the warning before the music fades away completely? Each generation tends to accept the world they inherit as the normal state of things, the way it's always been. But in doing so, we risk forgetting the richer, more vibrant world that came before us, a world teeming with life and natural wonders. This phenomenon is known as shifting baseline syndrome, a subtle but dangerous process where we unconsciously measure nature's health against a continually lowered standard, accepting less and less as the new normal. A sparse forest with few trees or a quiet coastline with minimal wildlife might seem normal and acceptable to us today, but that's only if you never knew, or have forgotten, the abundance that once thrived there, the vibrant ecosystems that have slowly faded away. This collective amnesia, this gradual forgetting, allows environmental decline to continue almost unnoticed, generation after generation. We lose not just individual species and habitats but also the memory of them, the knowledge that they ever existed in the first place. To break this cycle of forgetting, we must actively look back, listen to the stories of elders who remember a different world, carefully study old records and historical data, and consciously remember what has been lost over time. Only by truly understanding the richness and abundance of the past can we find the collective will and determination to restore what remains of our natural world. The stories, the photographs, and the data of the past serve as our crucial guide, illuminating the path forward. Remembering, acknowledging, and learning from the past is the essential first step towards saving what's left and building a more sustainable future. Climate change is no longer a distant threat. It's actively disrupting the delicate balance of our planet. It's throwing nature's rhythms out of sync, creating a cascade of consequences that affect every living thing. Plants flower earlier, responding to the false signals of unseasonably warm temperatures. Insects emerge sooner, their life cycles disrupted by the changing climate patterns. And birds arrive to find their food sources gone, the synchronized dance of nature thrown into disarray. Species are forced to move, they are on the move, desperately seeking suitable conditions for survival. They are heading toward the poles, seeking refuge from the escalating heat, or up mountains climbing to higher altitudes where temperatures are more bearable. All this in search of cooler habitats that can sustain them. Many can't move fast enough, unable to keep pace with the rapid changes. They are blocked by barriers, both natural and man-made, or simply unable to adapt to the new normal. For some, extinction looms as a very real and devastating possibility. These disruptions aren't distant, they are not confined to remote corners of the globe. They affect us directly, impacting our lives and livelihoods in tangible ways. Pollinators struggling to adapt, facing habitat loss and changing floral resources. This threatens our food supply, jeopardizing the availability and affordability of essential resources. Forests dying from drought and disease, weakened by the stresses of a changing climate. These forests purify our air and water, providing essential ecosystem services that we depend on. Oceans warming and acidifying, causing widespread coral bleaching and marine ecosystem damage. This endangers billions who rely on them for food, livelihoods, and coastal protection. The unraveling of nature, the disintegration of the intricate web of life. This is the unraveling of our own life support, the very foundation upon which our societies are built. The most vulnerable communities, those with the fewest resources and the least resilience. They feel these impacts first and hardest, bearing the brunt of a crisis they did little to create. Climate change is not just environmental. It's not solely about melting glaciers and rising sea levels. It's a threat to human security and peace, exacerbating existing inequalities and fueling conflict and displacement. The science is clear, the pace of change is accelerating and tipping points are near. The time for small steps is over. Bold, decisive action is needed now. We must transform our societies, economies, and relationship with nature. Yet within this crisis lies hope. We have the knowledge and tools to build a better future. Clean energy, sustainable cities, and conscious choices can drive change. This is a responsibility for all of us, requiring global cooperation. Nature can recover if we act. By working together, we can quiet the dissonant notes of crisis. We can compose a new symphony of restoration and harmony. The future is still ours to shape.